My tenant fell asleep while cooking. He woke up to a lot of black smoke. Again, I inherited these tenants. They took out the batteries out of the smoke detector because they were smokers. And this is what happened. But I'm a strong believer in everything happens for a reason. I always say that.
This business here is a tough business. He's doing it from the heart. He likes helping people.
Early on, you know, he hated to lose.
He's a bull in a china shop.
He has this aura about him that forces you to become the best version of yourself.
Now I'm to the point where I want to be able to share the knowledge so the next person can do it, not make the mistakes that I've made. So December 10th, I bought my first multi-unit. Well, I thought I was buying my first multi-unit. I bought 3 multi-units. So when I purchased my first multi-unit, well, 3 multi-units, I didn't know exactly what I was gonna do. And because I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep them all, and I didn't know the importance of having a diversified portfolio, at the time when I bought all 3, I was gonna sell 2 and keep 1. And my thought process in that was, I'll be able to recoup all my money if I sell the 2 and I keep the 1. But as I started digging into the numbers, and the longer that I had them, I realized, no, Chris, everybody wants multi-unit. And you make your money on the buy, not the sell. So I decided to go ahead and hold on to all 3 and start renovating them. Now, at the time when I bought all 3, I was freaking out. I had spent that much money. I had never spent 6 figures and bought a bundled package at one time. So I was starting to second guess myself. And this was right after I bought my first $25,000 house. During that process, I wasn't sure how to really approach multi-unit for multiple reasons. First being, I wasn't sure what type of tenants I inherited, what work had been done, the quality of work that had been done. I always knew if I wanted to get into multi-units, I wanted all the gas to be separate, the electric to be separate. Well, at the time, December 10th, it was freezing cold. There was 6 inches of snow on the ground. I didn't even walk the basements of these properties. Very, very ignorant of me, if you just want to be very transparent. But it all worked out. I had one building that had a slight foundation issue, which was not a big deal. And overall, the structures and the foundations for all 3 buildings were probably a 9 out of 10. So, God willing, it worked out how it was supposed to. So originally my thoughts was to keep this building. It had new siding, it was 5 units in it. It was the only building that I thought had 5 units. But then when I started doing the calculation and I realized how much it was cash flowing, I was like, oh, Chris, you're crazy. Why would you sell the money makers? These things cash flow so much money and you don't really have to put much money into them. So I decided to keep them and I started slowly but surely fixing them up. Cut down all the trees. Before you couldn't see the properties on either side. There was trees and overgrown stuff all through the property. And I wanted to cut it down, just put some river rock. Easier to maintain. So one thing I've learned with these rental properties is over time, you want to go ahead and get stuff that's low maintenance, so you're not constantly over here. Also, I went through with all the old furnaces. Some of these furnaces were like 1950s. One of the properties had a boiler in it. The most recent thing that I did was I went ahead and started re-roofing all 3 properties. So if you see all 3 roofs, they're all brand new. They're a matter of 30 days old. One thing I've learned with the contractors as well is if you can give them a bundle of work at one time, you get a discount. So did I necessarily need to do all 3 roofs now? No, but the price that I was able to pay, I would not be able to get that price again if I didn't do all 3 of them together. Same with the furnaces. As I started swapping out furnaces, I would do 2 at a time, better deal. Now, if you're talking about, I'm gonna get a $100 discount, it's not really worth it. But if you're talking about a $500,000 discount, and you're gonna have to replace it anyway within the next 30, 60, 90 days, then it's well worth going through the process of going ahead and fixing it. Now, when you inherit multi-units, there's a couple of things that you don't really consider, and I didn't consider. I didn't consider the liability. If someone caught fire, if plumbing, if we had a flood, if we had an electrical issue. I didn't really know what this looked like. So unfortunately, one of my properties caught fire, and I inherited this renter. And this renter did not have renter's insurance. Luckily, on all my properties, I have insurance, and it wasn't a big deal. We were able to get it taken care of, and we just finished gutting this unit here, And I'm gonna walk you through here eventually and show you what it looks like now. But without good insurance and a good team, I wouldn't be able to do this. So these are some of the liabilities and things that I didn't think of when I first purchased this property, but I would never sell them either. The only way that I would sell it, I've actually had several offers. I had investors out of California tell me they'll buy all 3 for double, almost triple of what I paid for them, but it just doesn't make financial sense. Again, you make your money on the buy, not the sell. I can always sell these properties, and I know I could, but I'm not in it for the short run, I'm in it for the marathon. So come with me and I'm gonna show you one of the properties that I found. Again, I thought this was the only unit that had 5, and come to find out this has 5 units as well. As I have a vacancy through each property, I swap out all the windows, I swap out the kitchen, I swap out the restrooms, but I can't afford to do them all at one time. It doesn't make sense. People are willing to rent them as they are now. So as they move out and I have vacancies, I go ahead and I swap out all the things that I mentioned. So come with me and I'm gonna show you the quality of work that we do once we do have a vacancy, and then we go ahead and refinish it. What's up, Tommy?
How you doing?
Good, and yourself? You looking good, man. Hey, so if it wasn't for Tom, man, I couldn't get this done. So this property here, like I said, we're swapping out all the windows because it was vacant. We actually put in a new restroom as well. Tom, where's the light switch for this? Oh, there we go. So we put a new restroom in. Turned out really, really nice. They're still working on some of the trim work. New doors, front and back. And then this is the bedroom. So this is a small unit. This is just a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and a shotgun kitchen, we call it. There he goes.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
All right.
Now this is the man, the myth, the legend.
Oh, yeah, right.
So this is the kitchen. Again, he just did a shotgun kitchen. We still got to put appliances in. They stained and sealed the cabinets. They turned out really, really good. I'm pleased with it. So as they become vacant, like I said, we'll swap out all the cabinets, put new countertops, put new windows, and we'll just do them one by one. And again, everything's uniform, like clockwork. So if we go back to the warehouse, we grab that bucket of paint, we know exactly what paint color it's gonna be. Same thing with the trim, everything's white. We don't do oak anymore, we swap them out. But it takes, again, properties being vacant. So luckily I got blessed with Pete, and Pete told me for a year straight that he wasn't gonna work for me. And now I can't get rid of him.
Who can? I can contracting. All day. It's what we do. We work in the sun, the snow. We have shoveled snow off the roofs before to do the roof. So that's what we do. We don't get paid unless we work. That's our motto. Started this business like in 2000. Actually got my license in 2003. At the time I worked at the school as a custodian for 20 years. I quit the schools in 2002, and I've been an independent contractor ever since. With Chris being my cousin, I kind of funny, I kind of take orders from him and I kind of direct him at the same time, you know, where other people I just work for, they tell me what they need me to do, I'll do it, and we just kind of go home. I know he told you I wouldn't work for him for a year, and that is true. A lot of people say this to me, they want to work with me, they want me to do this, they want me to do that. This business here is a tough business. This business here is not for the weak. You have to have the money to do it right. Do not want to work with nobody that's going to half do it and do it wrong. I just didn't think he was going to come in and have what he needed to have to get it done, but he proved me wrong. He's doing it from the heart. Like with me, I love doing this. I love doing this. I get up every day. I don't even have an alarm clock. I get up every day because I love what I do. And then Christopher's the same kind of cat I am. He likes helping people. He's good with people, and everybody likes him. But I like his drive, man. I like his spirit. He come along at the right time because, you know, believe it or not, I'm almost 60. I know you probably think I'm 35 or 40, but Christopher, when I first got to talking to him, I knew this is somebody I can actually help pass the torch to. You know, as far as even with my rental properties and my business and just my knowledge, is somebody I can just hand it off to that I know would carry the torch. And I can't be more proud of him.
So, like I said, one of the things I learned, obviously, I didn't know about was liability. So, unfortunately, we had a fire in this building. Also, had a young lady, a good tenant of mine, that actually passed away. It wasn't the cause of the fire, but unfortunately, it was natural causes, and she did pass away. So this property got condemned, and we had to go through and gut it. So this past week, we spent all week here gutting it, obviously removing all the carpet, and now we're gonna go through and refinish it like the unit that you just saw. So, as I mentioned to you, there was no reason for us to go ahead and make changes to any property when you have a tenant in it. So we're gonna go through, put new windows in, new flooring. We're also gonna put new paint. We painted the exact same colors as I've mentioned before. And this one is a smaller unit as well. It's just a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. So we'll come through, put new carpet. It'll look really nice, and it'll make a world of difference. So my goal is by the end of next year to have each unit renovated with new windows, new paint, new kitchen, and all new furnaces and air conditioning units. So this bathroom, you can kind of see what we do and what typically exists when we walk into each property. So this is the older restroom, but each unit 9 times out of 10 is going to look like this until we go through and renovate it. When we had the fire, unfortunately, the fire department had to kick the door in to make sure everybody had vacated the property. And that's when they found the young lady that had passed away. So we'll go through, yank out all these cabinets, put another shotgun kitchen. Well, actually, this one won't be a shotgun because we got 2 sides.
We got 2 sides. Basically, just one run here with some wall cabinets there.
Yep.
Kind of similar to what they got now. Yeah, limited space to work with.
Exactly. So we'll do that. Brand new appliances. Got a great relationship with the appliance person. So again, that's part of that team structure that I had to learn. I didn't learn that until I bought my $25,000 house. So that's why I'm extremely grateful, not just because of the profit that we were able to make from it, but also the relationships we were able to build from that property as well. So each unit, when you look at the front of these properties, each unit has a basement, a washer and dryers in the basement. Obviously, they have storage as well. We give it to both upstairs and downstairs. So if you go this way, you will see the basement. Maybe we'll walk through when we get done. But we're gonna go upstairs for now where the fire took place. So you can still see a lot of the black smoke on the walls, fingerprints from the fire department. So this is where the fire started. What happened in this unit is my tenant fell asleep while cooking, and he woke up to a lot of black smoke. A lot of people in this unit that, again, I inherited these tenants. They took out the batteries out of the smoke detector because they were smokers. In my lease, I don't allow people to smoke in the units, but it was a lot of things that they got away with because of the last owner. So he took the battery out the smoke detector. He wasn't awakened by the smoke detector because there were no batteries, and this is what happened. So we do inspections on smoke detectors every 30 to 60 days, and unfortunately, he took it out. So this is what we have to deal with. So we gutted this entire kitchen. And what's the plans for this one?
Well, first thing, after the fire, you get an engineer letter. You call up an architect, a local architect. He comes out and he tries to point out if any structural damage. Like here, it's minor, but it's still structural damage nonetheless. So this is something that he would report to the building department in a letter. He'll send it down to the building department. We'll go down there, we'll pull a permit from the Allen County Building Department, and the repairs for this structural damage has to be done according to this letter. Now, other than that, is just basically the type of things getting back to what I call Chris's standards, and every type of unit has a different standard. These are apartment units. Pretty plain, simple, safe, clean, and always uniform. We'll insulate, drywall all the walls, put new cabinets in, new appliances, new flooring. It'd be a complete new kitchen. New lighting, everything to be new, and we'll make sure we have a licensed electrician come in. He'll make sure all the wiring is still up to code and working properly, because sometimes when you have a fire, you really can't see the heat that happens in the wire. Sometimes the wires get heat and it breaks the resistance down, so you have a professional come in and make sure everything is still safe, so when the next tenant moves in, everything is back on the one the way it should be. He also wrote this up too, Chris. This is, you can't see, if you go outside, you'll see the tarp outside of the building. It's where the fire actually melted the siding, and the fire department ended up knocking what you see knocking out. So the whole exterior on this side has to be all replaced as well. Christopher kind of emphasized on every property, he wants everything done. We'll have new doors, new windows, whereas most landlords will come in and patch it together. He's not going to do that. I told him yesterday about a unit he got. I said, well, the bathtubs don't look that bad. He said, you know my standard. So we'll go through these walls, we'll clean all these walls. Any of these walls we can't clean, we will remove. And you can see that we had the whole bathroom removed as well, because the bathroom, it was damaged had heavy smoke damage, it being right next to the kitchen. And we'll put another bathtub in. We'll do a ceramic towel tubs around, probably do a ceramic floor, a vinyl floor in the bathroom, new vanity, new medicine cabinet, new lights, new exhaust fan. So when you get done, it'll be brand new. We'll touch every part of it. You come back here in 3 or 4 months, a couple months from now, you'll never know you're in the same place. 6-panel doors all the time. And
All
Chris
white.
goes with one color gray for the walls, white for the trim. So yeah, we got a lot of work ahead of us, but we got a plan and it's already in motion.
So one thing that I've learned again in these properties is they classify them sometimes as a 2-bedroom. That second bedroom is extremely tight. But I wasn't able to get in a lot of these units because I inherited the tenants. So I'm able to find out, you know, where I put that market rate, where I set that rate for the rent, once I'm able to walk through them. Again, I hadn't seen these units because I inherited the tenants. So this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. So this is considered a second bedroom, which is extremely small. And I actually should have had them remove
Yes, that needs to come out.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take this out because it's just a small bed here, and I don't like that.
For the most part, you got lucky. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
Without a doubt. But I'm a strong believer in everything happens for a reason. I always say that. A prime example is this building catching fire. What's the coincidence? This building has been here for 50 years. The tenant has never been involved in a fire before. And that lady had already passed away and had been deceased for maybe a week or so. And so, unfortunately, that was the way I believe somebody was supposed to find her. Because if it wasn't for the fire, we wouldn't have known until after the first of the month because she wouldn't have paid rent. She had paid rent, so we would have had no reason to do a wellness check or check up on her. So the fire caused the fire department to then knock on her door. She didn't answer, so then they breached the door, which is why we found her. So yes, it is unfortunate circumstances that we're having to go through this whole process of renovating these properties. But I'd rather her family know what happened and taking place downstairs and her no longer with us than to have her in this unit still passed away. Nobody can get a hold of her and wonder what's going on. So I'm just glad that, you know, we got that chapter done. Her family's okay. We were able to let her family get everything that they wanted out the unit. Right. And extremely blessed to have had her as a tenant and her family for being as open and honest and caring as they were. So yeah, rest in peace to her.
I make my way down through this weary bay, grasp for a while. The storm is passing by. I start to stare. What am I doing? I should be standing strongly and firmly, grabbing my chair.
So as I said in many episodes, thank you for watching this episode. I do truly appreciate it. I appreciate all the messages. I appreciate all the phone calls. I appreciate all the text. It really means a lot to me. All of the messages of you guys saying, man, you changed my mindset. Wow, you inspired me. Wow, you motivated me. I never thought it was possible. I went to school with you. Have you thought about doing this differently? I like that. Thank you guys for that. A lot of you have even DM'd me, Chris, will you put this in your content? Will you share how you've done this? And I am going to. I promise you that. I'm taking notes on all the things you would like to see, and I'm going to implement those in some of the upcoming episodes. Unfortunately, a lot of this content that we're putting out now is 6-7 months old, and I wanted to throw it away, but my mentor, my PR specialist, and my marketing guru, Darius, is telling me, Chris, you got to dump this footage. We got to get it out. And then we'll get to some of this new stuff that you've done. What I'm going to do in some of these other episodes, once we get this old content out, I'm going to explain to you guys what my thought process was, how I got there, the resources that I use, and then how you guys can use me and leverage me as an investor, help you guys get started if you don't have the means to do so, and some of the tools that are out there to be able to help you do that as well. So again, thanks for watching episode number 3. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know some of the things you like. What were your takeaways? Some things that you would like to see me do different. And then also, maybe some information you would like me to start putting in some of the episodes. If you don't feel comfortable commenting, I understand. It's a lot of you guys that don't necessarily comment on the videos, but you message me. I see that stuff, and I message you back and tell you, yes, I'm thinking about that. Yes, I'll do this, etc. So whatever you feel comfortable doing, just let me know how you feel, and I'll make sure that we make those tweaks and changes so you are getting some value add. This is all about value add. We want to be able to add value to your life, your business, etc. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace out. Love and happiness. Hey, be persistent. Be persistent. Be persistent. If I can do it, you can do it. Peace out.